Hi there, this is Peter from Arandan. Today we're going to take a further look at feedback. I worked on basic feedback before, which you can find in the clip that is linked right here. In that clip I'm sending, just like any sensible person would do, the output of a module back into the input, and that generates a typical feedback loop. I'm describing a couple of variations in there, like input mixing, output mixing, or both. So definitely take a look at that video, it's well worth it. But today it's quite a bit different. I took a look at one of my most basic analog VCOs and tried to do a feedback patch on that. So let's get to the modular side and let's get patching. So for this feedback patch I'm going to be using the Clavis Twin Waves, which is, as the name implies, a dual channel oscillator, which has two channels that can actually modulate each other. I'm not going to use that part of the module, but I set it up with a simple sine wave on oscillator 1 and the same on oscillator 2. So let's listen to what it sounds like. You can see on my iPad screen in the meantime that is tuned to a C, and that is indeed a pretty nice sine wave. The other one I've pitched up a fifth higher, so it looks lower. So it looks like this, sine wave as well, tuned to a G. Now let's patch up the feedback patch, and for that I will be using the old stackable cables, which I take from the output and into an attenuator, which I will first set to 0, all the way closed. The output also goes out. And then from the attenuator we go back into the V oct, so determining the pitch with the actual signal of the oscillator itself. If you go up too high, it goes completely backwards. So that's kind of fun. I think it's interesting to see how it evolves. At first it goes down in pitch, all the way until the full note. Let's turn off the sound of this one for the time being and do exactly the same for the other oscillator. So the old stackable goes into my second channel. The output goes to the output as well, which is still tuned in the G. And you can see the same thing happens. So the sine wave starts slanting, goes back up. This really sounds like a modem from the 1980s, if you ever worked with computer networks back then, or with a fax machine, you recognize this sound. Now that's not what I was here to talk to you about. It's fun to have crazy sounds, but it can actually sound really beautiful as well. So I'm going to tune this one to C. Is already a C, but we'll swap them and give this one a G. here I've got, as you can see by the light, the actual output of the feedback patch. Now let's input this one into the printer. The printer is set to record and play. So the two are chasing each other here. The red one is the recording and the white one is the play. Head, just like a tape loop. If I put this into the mixed, I will get a mix of both the original sound as well as the distorted or manipulated sound. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to plug it into the unmixed. Sounds like this. We're already hearing overtones, but it gets really fun when using this scale. So this is the one where you modify the actual chord that is generated, and the input here comes from a sequencer. When I start the sequencer, it starts evolving. Loop where I patched the signal out back into its own pitch voltage per octave, which is a crazy idea, but it's turned out pretty well. I really like the sound.